Hey everybody, it's Wreck Rider, and welcome to a very special project that was not originally in the Summer of Wario roster. This is Wario World for the GameCube, and this game was very generously donated to me by a YouTube user by the name of Captain Blue 49. This is also going to be semi-blind because I've only played through this game once. I've been pretty impressed with it, other than one thing. This game is very, very short. What this game was essentially an attempt to do was make a 3D Wario game along the same premise as Wario Land 2, 3, and 4. It borrows a lot of elements from 4, as you will see when we actually get into the gameplay. I'll just say it now, I don't think this game is worth trying to find, just because it's not very long. But for the length that it does last, it's very good. It's gonna seem like it's a longer game because I'm only gonna be uploading Wario World twice a week, on Wednesdays and on Saturdays, and other days during the week I'm going to be uploading Wario Land 2. This will probably go well into Wario Land 3 even. Nice job, Wario. So essentially, the story behind this game is that a very valuable treasure that Wario had acquired in his last adventure had kind of a mind of its own and had turned into another. What is it? What am I looking for? It basically animated itself and then animated all of Wario's treasure. So he needs to find a way to turn it back to lifeless treasure that he can just stare at and well, recover it so it doesn't cause any more trouble. Wario World has 4 worlds, each with 2 stages and a boss.
Here we go.
Every stage has 8 treasures and 8 red diamonds. And it has 5 spritelings, I think they're called. I'm going to be doing 100%, even though you don't have to beat the game, and there's not really much reward for doing so. The only thing you unlock for getting 100% is a whole bunch of like a fairly large sampling from WarioWare Inc. In order to get treasures in this game, there are... Oh, I fell. That was stupid. There are 8 different colored buttons in a stage, and 8, not altars, but colored platforms with the W symbol on them. That's where the corresponding chests will appear. Because there are 8 stages, every stage that you collect 8 treasures in will unlock 1 minigame. Or microgame, as they're called. So you get a pretty decent sampling, and unfortunately I will not be able to show them off, because the only way to play them is connecting your Game Boy Advance through to your GameCube, and I have no way of recording that. Now these spritelings will give you little hints about how to play the game or how to find certain treasures. Now, unlike in Wario Land 4, which you'll see at some point later. Each of those hearts actually has 2 segments to it instead of 1, so I can take... So Wario has basically 8 hit points right now. There are 8 pieces of a Wario statue in each stage. If you can collect all 8 of them in one stage, you will get an extra half a heart, like added to your maximum. Now, like in the first Wario Land, you will need to collect a certain number of coins to get the best ending. But it's not that many. I think it's something like 3,000 or 4,000. The main purpose of collecting coins is they serve as extra lives in this game. You may have noticed I collected a piece of garlic there. That gives you that will restore one of your hearts. Now, the various treasures you collect are often references to other Nintendo series, and you'll see that later on. I feel this game would be very difficult to speedrun because of all the routing you have to do. These worlds are giant. I want to say that the worlds in this game are much bigger than even Banjo-Tooie's worlds, and those worlds were giant. As far as making the 2D to 3D transition for the Game Boy Wario games, I feel that this game did it very well. Now, those footprints on the ground are primarily used for lining up jumps. Because there aren't any lives in this game, you do need to be careful with, well, with how many times you get hit, especially in later stages where enemies become dangerous and start doing 2 points of damage instead of 1. There are generally 3 types of enemies in every stage. Small enemies that just 1 punch will take care of. Larger enemies that you'll have to throw. And there will be bigger enemies that you'll need to deal with in special needs. What the hell is Wario doing? Oh. Oh, right. This is a garlic dispenser. If you pay the indicated number of coins, it will spit out garlic, which will restore one of your hearts, as you saw. And you will want to take advantage of these garlic dispensers because the penalty for dying and continuing is huge. It's 100 coins in this stage, or in the first world, 200 coins in the second, 300 in the third, and 400 in the fourth. These ground hatches each contain a red diamond, but in order to get them, you'll have to solve a puzzle. Oh, I didn't want to hit the springboard yet. That springboard is how you get out. Now, most of the ones early are pretty simple. This is just basic platforming. And you'll often see Wario statue pieces in these hidden areas. There are 8 of them per stage, and I'm going to be finding every single one. Now, in the first couple stages, everything's pretty easy to find. Usually, the Usually the buttons and the... What are they? Usually the buttons and the colored platforms are pretty close to each other. Also, wherever you see the C-stick icon in the lower right, you will be able to adjust the camera angle. In the normal stages, you can only move the camera in notches like this, and it's kind of annoying. Because you can't ever get the right view. Did I screw this up? I might have. Because I kind of want to access that platform up there. I think I can get at it now. Oh no, I guess not. Whatever. Yeah, if you butt stomp the those bunny platforms, they'll send you flying higher. You actually have to butt stomp them, or that you won't get high enough. Like these guys, these are the really tough enemies that you have to use throws on, and they take a lot of hits, and you can end up taking a lot of damage because a lot of these big monsters have what are they? A lot of those kinds of monsters have attacks that do 2 damage. Now, in all likelihood, what's going to happen here is each stage is going to be split in 2. Possibly 3 in the late game stages, because there's one stage that's kind of hard to navigate. There we go. Now, I don't have to, but I'm just going to bust open all these boxes because coins are important to get early. Since they will be, not only will they be more difficult to come along, but the prices on the garlic dispensers will increase over time, and the stages where they're more expensive is where you'll be more likely to be using garlic in the first place. Hell, I might even have to split these in 3 because these stages are so giant. Some garlic dispensers will also get progressively more expensive, and that can be quite annoying. Oh, statue piece. Now these Wario heads you can pick up and throw just like enemies. They're pretty nice to have. Also, oh, I need to get out of this guy's way before I get damaged. There we go. Just needed to hit that one in the distance. Oh, another bonus room. Yeah, the ones early on are easy. These are glue globes. You will stick to them. And they have some interesting puzzles with them as well. And I am very good at failing these puzzles, clearly. Get back down here. Basically, you just want to fit through the gap there. You're going to be running into these glue globes a lot more starting in, I believe, World 2. And Captain Blue 49 warned me that this game would be short, but I didn't realize how short he actually meant. There are also flying enemies, and flying enemies are annoying. They have a decent variety of enemies in the game, but not great. Alright, that's 4 Spritelings. And yes, this is how pits work in this game. Every time you fall into a pit, you will go into an underground area where you are very apt to lose coins. Lots of coins. Now the areas early on are pretty easy to get out of, but they become a lot more difficult later. I don't need to demonstrate it because I'm surely gonna have to demonstrate. I'm surely gonna demonstrate every single area underground you can fall into by accident. Alright, when you run into one of these areas, there's gonna be a whole bunch of boxes you have to break open, and one of them chosen at random has the escape spring in it. There it is. I actually got pretty unlucky there. Alright, there's the 5th Spriteling. Alright, there's the Stone Doohickey, but there's still more of this place. Yes, it is actually called the Stone Doohickey. If you haven't been able to tell, the Wario games emphasize humor. And none of them are really very hard, except maybe Wario Land 4 on super hard, but we'll get to that soon enough. Is that the one we needed? No, it's not. I need to move it some more. That'll work. We found hardly any statue pieces. I may have to go through the stage a second time. The game is actually, the game is short once you know what you're doing, but most of the fun in this game lies from the exploration, which is why I was a little bit disappointed with the game. It's good for what it is, but... Oh, I actually fell on that the first try. That took me a lot more time to get my first time through. Now where is that chest? Yeah, the hidden rooms in the first couple stages are really easy. You can also press the start button to see where you're at in terms of all the collectibles in each stage. Where am I sitting at? Wow, I missed a ton of stuff. I'm gonna take the bye-bye balloons back to the beginning of the stage and try this again. And actually, I'm thinking that this might be a good time to break.